Now.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grow Rich Network Wednesday, September 2nd. It's already September, so happy September, everybody. Live training event here. We're actually here hanging out tonight to share with you guys, whether you're a member, whether you're an affiliate, or whether you're both, some techniques, tricks, tips, and the latest news on what we're doing here with Grow Rich Network in order to help you build your business as fast as possible on the internet. So really quick, if you're not a member already, right now what you want to do is you want to, on the page that you're looking at this video, scroll underneath the video, and there's a little button that says, if you're not a Grow Rich Network member, you can become a member right now. So go ahead and click that button and become a member, and welcome to the family. If you are a member already, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. I just want to go over a couple of little housekeeping stuff real quick. Actually, by the way, for those of you who don't know, I am Dan. I am one of the co-founders of this company. My partner, Andrew, is the other co-founder, and he will be with us very, very shortly. But for right now, just want to go over some of the little, and there he is popping up on cue. So just want to go over a couple of the little housekeeping things right now really quickly. Now, first of all, if you are a member right now and you've logged onto the system and you're wondering what the heck's going on, why things are changing, we are actually in the middle of a complete overhaul of the initial process. We're making it streamlined, we're making it better, we're making it higher converting, and we are going to make it more effective. Okay, so if you've been confused, if you've had trouble navigating around the back office, we think that's going to help you. And also, if you want to convert more sales, that's going to help you too, because what we are doing now is we are basically trimming the fat off of the steak right now and going with the lean meat. We've been testing the system for some time now, and we pretty much found the areas that we can kind of remove and get rid of, and the things that are most important. So we're just focusing on those things that are most important right now, and we're making them work better. So bear with us over the course of probably the next 12 to 24 hours. You might see some pages looking a little bit different than you've seen them before. It might not, the process might not lead to the exact page that it used to, but it will in the course of the next few hours. Like I said, we're going to get everything all worked out and all smooth, and I think you're going to like the final product that we put out for you. So you should be excited about that. So thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here. For those of you guys who do not know, what we are doing here is a really, really simple thing. I don't know if you're a brand new person, never have been on a webinar before, or if you've been doing this kind of thing for a while, but I just want to kind of simplify what Andrew and I are doing here with Grow Rich Network. Now, for those of you who don't know, Andrew and I have both created over multiple six-figure businesses for ourselves online. Okay, we both at different times in our life have figured out that, hey, we have these computers and we live in the age of the internet, and I could probably turn this thing into an ATM machine if I really put my brain to it. And that's what we've done. And by the magic of the universe, a few years ago, we were brought together at a live event, and we have come together here to put together something that is simple, that will fill a gap in the market, in the world of people looking to make money online, and that is effective, that is more effective than what's out there. Okay, so what we've been doing essentially for the longest time is we've been selling other people's products. So for those of you who don't know yet already, and I get into this in a little bit further detail if you actually are a member, but to give you the short crib notes version, those people who are making money on the internet like ourselves are doing so by selling other people's products generally. That's pretty much how everyone gets started. Okay, used to be years ago that in order to build a business to sell other people's products, you had to open a bricks and mortar store, or at the very best, a mail order business. Okay, before the internet, not a very easy thing to do. You need to get merchant accounts open, you need to establish relationships with whoever it is that you want to sell their products, whether it be shoes, t-shirts, bakeware, cookware, whatever fishing equipment, sporting equipment, whatever it is that you want to sell. okay? Now because of the internet, we've been thrown and ushered into a whole brave new world where anybody, literally any Joe Schmo, can get on the internet, sign up for an affiliate program for pretty much anything. They are literally a dime a dozen out there. There's affiliate programs growing literally out of my nose hairs right now. That's how many are out there. And you can start making money right away selling these products. Okay, so again, Andrew and I guess you could call it blessed enough, lucky enough, whatever you want to say, to have had some success doing this. Okay, through that, we have stumbled across an uncountable amount of roadblocks. Andrew will tell you his story. I don't want to tell you his story, but I can tell you if I had a nickel for every time I ran into problems over the course of my career earning money in my short 3 years on the internet, I'd be a billionaire today. And I'm not a billionaire right now. So if you thought I was a billionaire, sorry to smash your hopes and dreams. But I'm not a billionaire yet, being the operative word. So anyways, I'm digressing. The point of it is that we saw the problems that people run into firsthand. We not only saw them ourselves in the business that we were creating, but we also saw the problems that our teams are running into, right? And to this day, we still see those problems. So we felt that we could deliver a product that is a little bit more, lack of a better term, no bullshit than what's out there, like anti-hype kind of system, if you will, but still deliver the goods and still give everybody, regardless of your knowledge, regardless of how much money you have, regardless of whatever your previous pre-existing condition is, we can give you a fair shot at building a business on the internet because the opportunity is there for you. And I think where some people get a disconnect in this world is that they just don't believe the opportunity is there, right? Even if it's sitting in front of them, even if they've already signed up for it, and even if they already have it. So we wanted to create a community of people and an education system that is going to fill that gap, that is going to provide that knowledge and give it to you in a fair, fun kind of way. Now, here's the thing about what we do, and I want you guys all to understand this right now. Again, affiliates, members, if you're kind of just watching this, kind of browsing from the outside and you haven't really jumped in yet, again, you can jump in by clicking the button underneath this video right now. But, to all of you out there, if you're confused about what we are doing, I want to make it really, really simple for you right now, okay? Grow Rich Network is doing two basic things, okay? Number one, we are giving you an opportunity to build a business, literally in a box. So whether you know this or not, you actually have at your fingertips right now the ability to create an income selling our products. The great thing about our products is that they are digital. So you do not have to worry about failed delivery, about problems in shipping, breaking, smashing of the boxes. You don't have to worry about stocking your warehouse. We literally never run out of our products until we create newer and better versions of our products. Our products are digital. They're delivered in generally video and PDF format. So anyone from anywhere can access them almost instantly around the world. Okay, so that's a cool thing. I don't know if you know that. Now, if you're not really sure about Grow Rich Network's affiliate program or even what an affiliate program is, you can go ahead and click the other button that's underneath this video that will tell you more about the affiliate program. Okay, and again, if you're a member, if you're not yet, again, you can become a member by clicking the button underneath. Then you can actually learn about what this whole affiliate marketing thing is in detail. We go into super full detail in it in the actual product, okay? It's a little bit too long-winded to go into right now, but once you're a member, you'll be able to learn more about that. But just know right now that you actually have at your fingertips the business opportunity, okay? So that's number one. We want to give you an opportunity, which is really nothing new, okay? There's a lot of opportunity out there. We're not claiming that anything's new. Maybe the way we pay our commissions is a little bit newer and better than what's being done out there. However, we are really not breaking any ground with our affiliate program, and I'm not going to claim that we are. What we are doing that is really, really awesome is that we're delivering the education that people need. Okay, we're delivering the education that you may need. All right, so the other thing is we are educating. That is what we deliver through our products, is education. Okay, we are showing you how to build the business that we are offering you. Okay, so here's the thing. You might need both of these things. You might be somebody here who's brand new right now. You don't know what's going on. So you might need the opportunity, but you also need the education. You might already know what the opportunity is. You might already have an opportunity. You might not, want to sell our products, which is fine. If you want to sell your own thing, that's cool too. We're still showing you through the education that we are delivering how we've built our business and what you can do to build your business in a similar fashion. Everybody's business is going to be different. It's really predicated off of who you are. Okay, we pay out up to 70% commissions in our affiliate program. So that's pretty rare. You don't see people doing stuff like that, really. So the fact of the matter is that our products are probably the thing that you want to sell. But if you're selling something else, if your heart's in something else, that's cool too. You're more than welcome to go ahead, continue to promote whatever it is that you're continuing to promote. Our product, our education will apply. It will apply to whatever you're doing. Okay, probably makes sense to sell both of them, right? So again, if you're not already, become a member. Scroll down below. You're going to be blown away. You see what you get as a member of Grow Rich Network, and underneath that link is a link to our affiliate program. Please, for the love of money, you can listen to me me and Andrew blow hot air all night long. We probably got some valuable stuff to say to you, but plug into both of these things. Your business may depend on it. Your future may depend on it. If you're here looking for a way to generate to have a better life, to do the things that you've always wanted to do, to take the vacations, to provide for your family, then you're in the right place right now. But the next thing that you want to do is you want to plug into the systems that we put in place. Again, what they are is the affiliate program that we have here and the products that will show you how to use our affiliate program, as well as any other affiliate program that exists on planet Earth. Okay, so hopefully you guys get that. Hopefully you understand that. It's a really, really simple concept. Two things: opportunity and education. That's what we're delivering here. So I just wanted to make that clear for you guys. So with that said, I'm going to stop blowing wind right now myself and turn it over to my boy Andrew. Andrew's got some powerful stuff that he wants to share with you guys this evening as well. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So Andrew, are you with me now, brother? Got your audio?
I gotta unmute myself. So
beautiful. Okay, over to you, my brother.
I appreciate you, Dan, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Just while Dan was going through some stuff there, I just want to kind of address a couple of key points, because as Dan had mentioned, just from some housekeeping items, we have essentially been going through basically our chartered members who've been coming aboard here over the last month or so, and we've been getting a ton of feedback and information and basically just streamlining the process. So when you are growing rich, you are always going to be improving yourself, right? So we follow that same law, and we are always focusing on improving the experience. So a couple of things that Dan said. One, Dan had mentioned there's two buttons below this presentation. So one is to become a paid member, and then originally that other button was to ask us your single biggest question. So if you don't see the link about the affiliate program below this video, then you could refresh this page and that will show you. There'll basically be 3 links below the video tonight, and we'll probably switch that up a little bit, but there's going to be a link for you to become a member. There's going to be a link for you to learn about the affiliate program. And then there is an opportunity for you to ask us your single biggest question, because we know that sometimes you have a question before you can make a decision, and we want to support that by giving you the opportunity to reach out to us so that we can answer your single biggest question. Because like Dan said, it took him a while. He makes mistakes. You figure things out. I was the same way. It took me 3 years to make a sale online. I've got team members that I know for the last 10 years that are still struggling with some of the basics of making money on the internet. And one of the biggest things that I noticed about Dan was just his ability to break down the ridiculous into kind of like simplicity for the average person, which is what this system is built for. And then we also made another increase to our affiliate program that probably hasn't fully percolated yet with everybody, including myself and Dan. Our merchant processor just authorized us to pay out on 12 levels, guys. That's enormous, because when we originally came to market, we were paying out on 3 levels, and that was when we were paying out basically 70% back out to the field. So Dan had mentioned that tonight, but I just wanted to remind Dan and yourself that we've actually got an additional 9 levels that we're paying out on, which brings out the total payout to the field up to 79%. So it's a huge increase in the income opportunity for you for doing nothing more than just getting active, because all of the levels that are below you in your network and as your sub-affiliates, they all have the opportunity for you to create passive income when they're going out and taking action. And remember, it's kind of like an apple seed, right? Like one apple is filled with a bunch of apple seeds. And when you plant that apple or those apple seeds, you know, some of them will grow into other trees that produce more fruit that then go and feed more people, right? So when you look at it, you are just basically beginning the process here of growing rich by learning how to make money online. Again, it took me 3 years to make a sale, guys. So don't be discouraged if you're just getting started and you maybe don't quite understand how everything works. But if you stick around here, we'll show you. I was just talking to Dan today about, generating commissions and different things of that nature. And guys, when I first had success on the internet, it really kicked in when I had a $12,000 day. And that was after having nothing for 3 years. So in a matter of a day, your life can change when it comes to income. Myself personally, the last month I was working on a project and everything fell apart, guys. Everything fell apart. And I had to go back to the laws and I had to look at basically, what was the positive side, right? Because there's always positive, negative in every situation. And in that particular situation, the way that I looked at it, I said, I could have looked at the negativity and that would have held me in a certain position, but I looked at the positivity and I actually was able to turn that negative into a positive, which was better than what it was before. And I would have never had that opportunity to see that if I didn't follow those 7 universal laws that we teach you at the beginning stages here of the Grow Rich Network. If you've come through our Grow Rich Secrets funnel, you've probably started to watch those 4 videos. And if you haven't done so, certainly, you can find your way there and you can certainly watch that. But I just wanted to let you know that that one particular day, which could have been a negative, turned into $27,000 in commission. Now, if you can imagine what it feels like to earn that kind of money in one day and realize that it's possible when you learn how to leverage your time and you start working your business from a smarter perspective and you focus on leverage. And really, that's what Dan and I have provided to you, is the ultimate opportunity for you to make money not only through your own direct efforts, which you're going to be paid the most for, because certainly, when you do things yourself, you should be compensated accordingly. So the most money you make typically is from your own direct efforts. But that's not how you really truly grow rich, because then you're just really, trading your time for a sale, right? So you only make money when you make a sale. When you grow rich, you want to be making money regardless if you are personally making any sales or not. And that's why through this 12-tier affiliate program, you have the opportunity to literally be making money from 12 generations that you don't even know who they are, because they just came as a result of you, planting one seed that grew into multiple opportunities for you to create income. So guys, this is a huge opportunity, like huge. And when you realize the education products that we have available, a lot of you came into this opportunity looking to make money, okay? And a lot of you committed to growing rich as you kind of processed yourself through the front end of our funnel, which was to ask you a couple of questions, right? Why did you register? What do you want to learn? What must happen? And are you committed to growing rich? I'm sure a lot of you went through that process. Well, during that process, a lot of you said that you wanted to make more money, or that you wanted, happiness or peace of mind. Okay, what I want to put out there for you guys is that things in money weren't meant to make you happy. Okay, I know this for a fact because I went from having nothing to selling millions of dollars on the internet, and then losing it all when a partner committed suicide after 5 years of building a business. So I've kind of been on the whole roller coaster ride with you. And I want you to realize that money and things aren't meant to make you happy, guys, because I think they're just meant to make you comfortable. And it is a lot more comfortable when you don't have to, be worried about paying the bills or having so much month at the end when you run out of money. Because I've been there, guys. I think at the lowest point in my, professional or, commercial career, I'd lost everything, and I was sleeping in my car, and I was doing MasterMind events from the laptop in my car while teaching other people how to make money, when at that point, after I lost everything, I was living out of my car for about a week or two before I kind of got myself back on my feet again. But guys, if you've been in a low spot, I've been there with you. But I want you to realize that it can change in a day, and you can make as much money as you choose. So one of the things that I would encourage you all to do is to set a goal for a specific amount of money, not the fact that you just want to make money, okay? Because again, making money is not that hard when you learn how, and that's one of the things that Dan shows you how to do. Right in front of you right now, you have the ability to make money. We can make money by sharing information products. We're in the information age, and that's what caught my attention 10 years ago. Like Dan said, when I looked at my computer, I knew that I could make my computer generate income. I just had to figure out how. And I have, in my old home, which I've since sold, I literally have holes in the floor where my chair is, where the wheels were like kind of rolling back and forth for how many times I'd sat down on my desk, got to my computer to figure out how to make money online. And this was after hours of working, at my traditional job, and then coming home and burning the midnight oil and figuring out how to do it. And then when I had my first $12,000 day, I said, that's it, I'm committed, and I'm going to show as many people how to do this as possible. And guys, that was back in 2005, and that's what I've been doing ever since. And like Dan had mentioned, meeting him at an event, actually, it was a live event in Chicago, and at that point, I think my son was only a few months old, and that was the reason why I was getting back on the horse, was to not only show my son what's possible in terms of having freedom so that you can work when you want, with who you want, and where you want to do it, and you can make money from all over the globe. That's the type of things that I want to teach the next generation in my life. So my son and my daughter specifically, and then my team and you and everybody that comes in contact with this message, is I want you to realize that, guys, there's no virtue in poverty, okay? And there's no sin in growing rich. So, I grew up in a household where if you were to ask the person, how are you doing today? They would say, I'm just getting by, I'm just getting by. And that's my experience of most of my childhood, was living in a household that was just getting by. So as becoming a father and being responsible for the next generation, I needed to change that. And I needed to change the mindset of not only myself, is that's why I'm a certified life success consultant, is because I probably needed to work on this stuff more than you do. And I want you to realize that I'm no different than you, other than I've been studying the whole concept of making money online for a decade now, and have been dedicating at least 2 or more hours a day to developing that skill set. And then again, not giving up when the first roadblock presented itself, because my why is much bigger than the challenge. So one of my mentors, a multi-million-dollar mentor, he used to tell me that you should shift things into adventures. So he said, instead of it being, a challenge or you made a mistake, he said, just call it an adventure. And that way, an adventure is usually fun. It's something that you get to learn, you get to explore, there's ups and downs. It's really kind of repositioning things. And remember, if you looked at that law of the universe, we talked about really the law of relativity, kind of comparing your situation to something that's much worse. You'll realize that you can kind of reframe anything to make it make more sense for you. So for example, like losing 27 and a grand in a day. Well, most people would say, that sucks, whereas I'd say that's good. And people would say, well, how is that good? And I'd say, I don't know the how, but the how is going to be presented to me if I just keep moving in the right direction. And this is what you may not realize about marketing or internet marketing or just business in general, is that you don't have to know everything. You just have to know that you want to do it, and then you have to start taking action. If you recall in the book Think and Grow Rich, it says having a definite major purpose and then begin at once, whether you're ready or not. And so I think a lot of people spend too much time in the try to getting ready mode instead of just taking action and making some mistakes and, you know, not being afraid to make a mistake and then moving yourself forward. Because that's how you really grow rich, guys. You're going to make mistakes. Things are not going to go as completely as planned. But with Dan and I guiding the ship, you know, with the experience that we have kind of have a pretty good idea of where most people fall down. And that's where we're there to support you and pick up the pieces, as well as to streamline the process so that you don't fall down in the first place. And really, that's what we're focusing on right now, is kind of like the optimization stage of the system and the funnel, so that we can maximize the return of your efforts. Because really, when you're looking at building a business, I know as a dad that I have limited time to put into my business on a daily basis. So I have to change some habits. I have to wake up a little bit earlier. Possibly I might stay up a little bit later. But, you know, as Dan knows, often we're masterminding and doing things, and I've got my 2 kids on my lap, which is a lot different than when I was building my business 10 years ago. So even though I've had success and I continue to have success, I continue to grow every day like you in just different ways in my life. So we all come to the table with different experiences and different backgrounds. But what I want you to do is I want you to free yourself from this idea that there's virtue in poverty. There's some people that just believe like growing rich is a bad thing, you know, like because they talk about get rich and, you know, what's wrong with getting rich? What's wrong with growing rich? Listen, if you don't populate your mind with abundance and focusing on the right type of positive style thoughts and affirmations and having a focus and having a definite major purpose, guys, what sets in automatically is doubt and lack and limitation and, you know, just getting by. So guys, if you don't make a decision to grow rich, you're probably going to grow poor by default. If you look at the average individual, the average household individual, I think they have less than $500 in the bank. That's disgusting. If you're an adult and you have less than $500 in the bank, there's a problem. So you need to own the problem first. It's like an AA meeting. You know, the first problem with an addict is that they deny that there's a problem. If you're an adult and you have less than $500 in the bank, that's a problem, guys, and you need to fix that. And you do it by owning the problem first, and then you learn how to grow rich. Listen, when I first went to school, like as a traditional, like the traditional route, you know, in my 20s, I was interviewing people that were like 40 years old, 60 years old. I was a headhunter helping them find jobs. And I thought that was the weirdest thing, because I was interviewing all these people that had more experience than me, and yet I was the guy that was determining whether or not they were going to get the job. And that just didn't make sense to me. And when I look at this whole idea of, you know, the traditional education system, especially as a father, my son's 4 this year, and he could be going to junior kindergarten. But instead of sending them to the public school, I think there's a huge flaw with the public school system and even the private school system. So what we're doing is we're going to be homeschooling our kids so that our kids can learn the principles of leverage. They can learn the principles of decision making. They can learn the principles of, you know, growing a business and what it takes to actually become profitable. Because guys, that should be your number one goal once you're in a business, is to be a profitable business, right? So if you have yet to set some specific income goals, I want you to realize that, you know, there's a quote by George B. Shaw, and he says that it's a sin to be poor. You know, and I don't have anything against poor people, guys. I had no money, okay? I quote unquote was poor. I lived in a poor household. But that doesn't mean that I have to be poor and I have to transfer that to my next generation of my kids. It's my responsibility as the leader of my family, the leader of my ship, to grow rich so that I can provide comfort and I can provide the ability for us to do what we want, when we want, with who we want, and where we want, and not be, you know, strapped to a building. And that's one of the biggest things that I really realized from my mentor and trainer, Bob Proctor, was that he's told me to stop pointing at a building to say that that's where I work. He said, grab a globe, spin it, point your finger all across it as it's spinning and say, that's where my income comes from. Because realize we're in the information age. Guys, we're 3 feet from the world right now. And I don't really want to beat that, that idea home, but it took a while for me to sink it in that I have a global business sitting here in my office or sitting in the coffee shop or, picking up my phone and running my business. Our business is completely mobile friendly. I can run my business from my phone. I can run my business from my computer. I can run it from my office. I can run it from the beach. I can run it when I'm in a hotel room. And I don't need to be physically present to make an income. And I want you to realize that's the opportunity that you have in front of you right now. And to couple with this idea of, I want to squash this idea about, poor and rich. And I want you to realize that sin, right? Sin is the transgression of the law. So if we talk about the 7 universal laws, you got to realize that money, guys, money is a reward received for service rendered. That's it. That's all. That's all money is. Money is a reward that you receive for service that you've rendered. So you've got the idea. You're either going to render the service yourself or you're going to leverage a system that renders that service on your behalf. So you don't need to teach people the 7 universal laws, the 6 steps to riches, the 5-step self-confidence formula. You don't need to teach people how to do, discovering their purpose or the systems that they need to have in a business. But you do need to provide the service to connect somebody with that information, and you will get paid. Guys, that's one of the laws of the universe, right? Money is received for the service that's rendered. So if you have a business right now, if you're an adult, I'm 37 years old. I don't know how old you are. I'm 37, so I know my experience. At 37 years old, if I was in a profit-making enterprise, which a business is, so if you want to treat this as a business and realize that that's what you have and the business purpose is to create profit, and you yourself right now are earning very little money, then you have to own the idea that you're not providing enough service. You have to provide more service, guys. And sometimes that could be the hardest thing to do when you're not generating any income, right? Because income is a result from the service that you render. So a lot of people think they have to go get a sale or go make a sale. You don't make a sale or you don't get a sale, guys. A sale is the natural conclusion of a presentation of information that you gave to somebody. So your service is to give that information to somebody else so that they can go through that information and then they can make a decision. That's all a sale is. It's getting somebody to make a decision. Are you in or are you out? And that's it. So once you've collected a decision, you just move on. And Bob Proctor used to tell me, he would say, I don't know if you would ever hear the guy talk like this openly on stage, but behind closed doors, he would tell me, he would say, listen, he goes, SW, 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 N. And you got to wonder if the guy's crazy, right? He's an older guy. He's a multimillionaire. So he thinks outside of the box. So you're like, what is this guy talking about? Some will, some won't. So what? Next. And really, when you realize that in a business, what you're looking for, are you looking for the some that will, right? And that's why the system is set up for you to find out those ones that will. When you, as our affiliate, give away for free our Grow Rich Training Series program, the 4 free videos, you're rendering a service. You're giving information. You're rewarded by that by being hard-coded to that person for whatever they do in the future. So you don't have to make a sale or get a sale. That person, as they go through the education experience, they're going to make a decision. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. Your job as an affiliate or an internet marketer or a home-based business entrepreneur is simply to give the information to people so that they can make an educated decision. Guys, we have the easiest business possible. The 7 universal laws, every single one of us are governed by them. If you want to learn the 6th step to riches, which is outlined in a book that's launched millions of millionaires, if you want to have the confidence, which Bob Proctor explains, told me, and I believe after 10 years of coaching people, that self-confidence is going to be probably the #1 indicator of whether or not you're going to be successful or not, is whether you believe that you can do it and you have the confidence to back you up to take the action. Guys, that's the service that you're providing for free to somebody else. So by law, if you just focus on rendering that service and that service alone, just simply focusing on that, as a result, you're going to generate more income because that's the law. You provide the service, you get income. So if you want to make money, which a lot of you guys said that you do, when I said, why did you register? I want to make money. Why did you register? I'm broke. Why did you register? Because I want to learn how to make money. It's all basically the same concept. Guys, what I need you to understand is that you need to follow the 6 steps for riches that we outlined in that video training series. And it's to find out exactly how much money you want to make, when do you want to make it by, and then what vehicle are you going to make it through. You know, money doesn't just fall from the sky, but it can come to the internet, through the internet, into your bank account from all across the globe if you provide a service. And we have the service and the products all set up for you in a streamlined fashion where you just have to basically, I look at it as you give away $100 bills, because in that training, there's at least $100 worth of value that you're giving away for free for some other person. So what about the people that don't opt in to learn? What would Bob Proctor say? He would say, some will, some won't. So what? So this is why the process is set up for that. There's no rejection. You just send people to your affiliate link. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. And you let the system do the process for you of helping people make their educated decision. Guys, that's all it takes to make money online. And then you just take daily action. Well, if you look at in our products, not only do we help you figure out what your definite major purpose is, why are you doing what you're doing? We show you the systems that you need to create a 6-figure business. And then we give you, like as a bonus, we also give you like a daily routine, what you should be doing on a daily basis. Because life is just a bunch of days. You have the same amount of time as I have. Dan has the same amount of time as I do. You have the same amount of time as Dan does. But what are we doing a little bit differently with our time to grow rich versus what the average person is doing? The average person is trading their time for minimum wage to an organization that is just using them to build profit for their company. That's what the average person does. Guys, if you want to be rich or grow rich, you need to be your own business owner. You need to be somebody that can, write your own ticket. So, Dan had mentioned about getting into, a franchise. Getting into a franchise, guys, isn't cheap, right? Like working with Bob Proctor, that was $25,000 to put into that business before I even had an opportunity to make a sale. So I had to make 25 grand worth of sales before I was in profit. What I love about the internet is that it's so simple for the average person to get started that you don't have to have so much capital get started, but you do need to treat it like a business if you want it to be successful for you. And if you realize that, again, if you're not making enough money, own the realization that you're not providing enough service. And then look at your existing business and ask yourself, how can I provide more service? We just happen to do it in a systematized way that allows you to leverage the information that we're providing. And then just realize that all you got to do is just give away that information. That is your part in the universe as far as the rendering service goes. You've rendered the service by giving it away via your affiliate link, and then you just let yourself start to grow rich. The sales that you directly make, as Dan had mentioned, if you review the affiliate program, you're going to see that you make the lion's share from the sales that you make. And then as your team starts making those sales, that's where the passive income comes in, and it can grow quite exponentially. But, growing rich overnight is probably not going to be the reality for most people. Just because I had a $27,000 day or a $12,000 day doesn't mean that you are going to have that, but it does mean that it's possible because it's set up for you right now, especially when you look at our full product line and you realize that each piece is adding to each other and it's helping you grow rich by giving you the skills, the education, and training on how to grow a real business. Because you'll realize that when you start a business, you've got front end lead magnets, you've got multiple funnels, you're going to have different products that are for sale as like cross sells and upsells and back sells and back end products. And these are all things that you as a business owner need in your business if you want it to be successful. The difference is with Dan and I, we've already built all of that out for you, and you just need to plug yourself in. So I guess, Dan, I think kind of like what I'll leave it with is that I think George B. Shaw's quote is pretty accurate. It's a sin to be poor. So you should grow rich instead, and realize that that opportunity is in front of you right now. And all you got to do is take action. So if you're still here, like Dan said, you know, at one point you got to make a decision. You made a decision to show up tonight. So make the decision to evaluate what we have for you, and then realize how easy it is for you to plug into so that you can start growing rich as quick as tonight. We pay out each week on Friday our commissions, and all you need to do is just learn a little bit more about what we have to offer. And again, you can do that through any of the links below. And if you got here early and you don't see that third link, you can just refresh your page. It'll reload, and I believe that third link will be live for you now. So with that said, Dan, I'll pass it back over to you, my friend, and I'll leave you with any, finishing thoughts.
Appreciate you, Andrew. Some powerful stuff, some powerful points there. Just a couple that I want to touch on real quick, and then I'm going to let everybody go. First of all, as far as becoming rich and how quickly it happens, one of the laws that we touch on is the law of time, and the idea that it takes time for things to manifest in our lives, no matter what it is. Okay. The truth of it is, and I've been into it, on both ends of this in my short career here in the internet marketing space, but the truth of it is that really, and your definition of richness is probably going to be different than my definition of richness altogether, as far as wealth, happiness goes, and how much money you need to generate in order to consider yourself rich, and what I need to generate is two different things. But what I've learned is that when it comes to being successful in something, to let's just call it getting rich, but this goes for anything in life, it really kind of happens in the moment where you decide to do it. The moment that you decide to take action on, for me, I can tell you when it happened. There was a moment a few years ago when I decided I am going to no longer live someone else's dream for the rest of my life. From now on, here on out, I'm going to do only the things that I want to do with my time. Stop doing the stuff that I don't want to do anymore. And I am going to generate all of the wealth that I need to live my life the way that I want to live my life, and do all the things that I want to do in this life. When I made that decision is when I became rich. Now, it took some time for that to actually materialize in real life, but it really wasn't a lot of time, guys. It actually happened pretty quickly. Now, sometimes when you're learning something new, you're in a process of changing, which if you're brand new to this whole thing, these are all brand new concepts for you, then you are changing. It can feel like you're too close to the painting to see the big picture, but some time will pass, and as long as you stick to your guns, that payoff will come. Again, this doesn't apply to wealth. This just doesn't apply to monetary richness. Whatever, again, your definition of richness is, I don't really care. I want you to succeed at whatever it is that you want to do, just as long as you're not going to hurt anybody doing it. That's really all that matters to me. And, Andrew and I want to work with you if you're somebody who's looking to succeed in any endeavor, specifically the monetary financial world. If you want to grow your finances, that's really where we shine. That's really where our area of expertise lies. But again, this applies to anything in life, but you have to kind of give it time. But you first have to make that decision. You first have to literally make the decision. At the time when I made that decision a few years ago, I didn't even know that I was making that decision at that time. I kind of was doing it because I felt that I was pushed to that level. Now, here's the thing. Whether you're here right now because you feel that you're pushed to a level where you think you need something else, or you're just kind of poking around, doesn't matter. The opportunity is still sitting in front of you right now. So the decision that you make, whether it is to decide to grow rich right now with us, or to decide not to, because whatever you do, you're making a decision, whether you make that decision consciously or you turn this video off and decide not to make the decision, you're making your decision, period. The other thing that I want to touch on really quick is, playing into the it's good to be rich idea, which Andrew so eloquently shared with us, which, again, I was not one of those people that really, I had a lot of money problems as far as the way I thought about money coming into this industry. Always have been a sort of anti-establishment, anti-authority. At one point in my life, considered myself an anarchist, for real. That's the real deal. So, I am totally there with you if you're somebody who feels that it's not a fair world we live in. But it's like the saying goes, money can't buy you happiness, right? Well, neither can being broke, right? So it's really not an issue of money, like Andrew said, your happiness, right? It is an issue of comfort. And with money, whether you like it or not, we live in a world where it can perpetuate the better part of you. In the end, we are organisms that are put on this planet not to just get by, as Andrew said he would have heard in his family. Oh, yeah, just living, any day this side of the dirt is a good day. Yeah, that's true. Sure, that is true, right? Any day this side of the dirt is a good day and life is good. But beyond that, that's not what it's all about. It's about you fulfilling your destiny. It's about me and Andrew fulfilling our destinies, fulfilling our major purposes. Guess what? It's about conquering those dreams and finding more purposes that you can fulfill. I mean, look at all the great people in this world, entrepreneurs, religious leaders, spiritual leaders. These are people who've grown to levels simply because they focused on one thing at first. So what better of a place to get started than in your finances, right? We all can use it. Another beautiful thing about this product in this industry is that we're tapping into a market that everybody needs, supply and demand, right? I mean, if there is a more of a demand of people needing money in this day and age, then I don't know, what else is out there. It's hard times. People need money. You need money. You know that, and that's why you're here. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been here. That's what brought myself here, and that's what brought Andrew here a few years ago as well himself. So, the one other thing, and then I'm going to let you guys go. I know it's getting late here, but I just want to just really wrap this up because there's one other thing that triggered in my mind when Andrew was speaking about money, and the mindset that we have approaching money is, the mindset that we have approaching work, right? Here's the thing. For example, when Andrew was speaking, you might have been saying to yourself, well, why is it that I work so hard and I still don't make any money? If money is a direct reward for the value that I give, why do I work so hard? Well, here's the reason why that happens. And again, another trap that I personally fell into. It's because hard work doesn't always pay off. Period. Bottom line. Hard work alone. First of all, let me just say it like this. Hard work is valuable, and you're going to have to put work in. I work very, very hard. Andrew works even harder than I do because he's a father as well. And the fact of the matter is that, it's fun for me to work hard now because I'm working at something that is my purpose. But it wasn't always that way, and especially when I was just getting started because I didn't know what the heck I was doing, right? Andrew mentioned that sometimes you don't need to know every single thing, right? And I was kind of like lucky enough to realize that, okay, I'm going into this full bore. I don't know everything, but I'm just going to kind of go by a leap of faith and learn as I go. And that's what I did. That's literally how I created a business, guys. So, if you could take a page out of my book, it's that. Just take action and get started right now. Click the button and get rocking and rolling before you know everything. But, the fact of the matter is going in there and working hard is great. And it feels really, really good. But it is not going to make you rich all by itself ever. And chances are, if you're catching yourself in a feedback loop, right? If you're in a loop of I'm just working, and I don't know why I can't make any money, it's probably because you're in the wrong job. It's probably because you've outgrown what it is that you're here for, that you're here to do. You've grown. Maybe you're in a position where you're giving value of X dollars and you've been earning that amount of money for however long, and you're just wanting something more right now. That is the exact position that I was in when I got started. Okay, literally. And I threw away my income knowing that there was something better for me. So the key is this. And this is one thing that, I can't tell you, Andrew can't tell you, no one can tell you. You have to decide. What is your life worth? What are you here for? Why are you on this planet? Are you here to do the things that you've been doing on a daily basis, the same way you've been going about them for I don't know how long? For me, it was about 6 years before I snapped my eyes open and realized that I had to do something different. Some people, go until their deathbed, 60, 70 years just on autopilot, right? Are you here to do that? Or are you here to carve out a legacy, an identity, and an empire for yourself? Because that's what you deserve if you want it. I mean, it is literally at your fingertips right now with this product, this education that you are here with right now. Okay, so really, really simple. Go ahead, click that link at the bottom, become a member if you're not a member. If you need to learn about our affiliate program and how you can make money selling our products, then you can click that link. And if you want to ask us a question, go for it. Glad to have you with us as always. Appreciate you. Love you all. Andrew, did you have any parting words that you wanted to say, my brother? Muted.
I'm muted. So I was, you don't have to be a genius to do this stuff, guys. I just remember, guys, I just want to be frank with you guys. When I started this game, and I look at it as kind of a game as an entrepreneur and an adventure every day. Bob Proctor used to always tell me, he would say, because at that time I was making about $65,000 a year working in the corporate world. And he said, listen, he goes, I know you don't make $65,000 a year because that's what you want to make. He said, you're just not aware of how to make that per month. And I thought about that for a minute and I was like, what do you mean 65K a month? And that opened up my mind to potential, right? Because I didn't even realize that was a possibility. And I know that might sound silly because when you realize that, working for somebody else, guys, and especially in a job, you've made your agreement, right? Like you have an employee contract or you have human resources. You write up your, here's your offer of employment. You've already made your deal of how much you're worth. And it doesn't really matter what you do. You don't make any more money. It didn't matter if I gave more of my time. I didn't make any more money. So, my parents being, like any good parent, told me to go get a second job so that I could make more money. And all that did was burn me out. I literally almost died. I fell asleep at my wheel. I fell asleep at my place of work out of exhaustion of working like 3 months, 12-hour shifts in a row. So obviously I didn't know how to grow rich. Obviously I didn't know how to make money. And that was one of the things that, I didn't really even realize was a subject that people should be taught. And that's one of the things that I love about Dan is that Dan, from the beginning, has made this about educating people about, some of the basic financial components to growing rich, which how important is that? Because when I met Bob, he made me realize that, 96% of the population trade their time for $1, and that's why they're not rich. And then when you look at the, quote unquote, rich people, what do they do differently? And I've got a stepfather. And, I grew up in a household that was just getting by. And then I've got, the family side, which are multimillionaires. And if I look at the difference in how they approach life and their day and their business, I realize that, Bob Proctor told me that to be a part of the 1% that really controls like 96% of the income, if that's, again, it's not really about power and control. It's about having the freedom and the comfort to do what you want. Guys, I used to stress about how I was going to pay $1,000 a month for rent, for example. On Sunday, I made $27,000. So when I think about that, I used to struggle to make $1,000 for rent, and now I can make 27 grand in a day. How did that shift and what changed? Well, what realized is when I realized that I had to shift inside out, and I had to realize how I approach money, and how I realized, that I wasn't really supposed to be trading my time for money. I should be leveraging my time for money. And that's what wealthy people do. And that's why in our business and our affiliate program, we really are, we're excited to know that you have 12 levels of people that you can leverage to generate passive income. And that's how you're going to grow rich. Because, personally, I would much rather receive 1% from 100 people so that my time is leveraged and I'm earning from all over the globe 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%. 100 people, 1% adds up to 100%, right? Then rather than me personally being responsible for generating that income myself, because if I'm not physically present, then that income is not going to come in. And that's what the difference is for people that are rich, the people that are poor or just trading their time for money. Guys, and I don't mean to be rude, but I think the average person really, nuts and bolts, are poor. The average person, if they miss one paycheck, their life is off the rails. Guys, that's no way to live. So you want to learn how to live so that you can have some more of the luxuries of life to provide you more comfort. So for example, one of the things that I'm doing with my son, he's 4 years old. He's going to get into snowmobile racing this year. So we made a call this morning to find out about a brand new snowmobile for him that costs more than my first car when I got started. And I think about that, and some people say, oh, you're spoiling your son. Well, what you don't realize is that my son has been involved with me at each step of the way of generating that income so that he can realize that there's a reward for his service and his efforts. And so even at a young age, I feel like as a dad that I'm able to provide more things to my family, which I really believe that that's what a dad is all about. And then realizing that it's to set it up for not only, me and my family, but the next generation and so on and so forth. And that's when Dan said leaving a legacy. Guys, you've got to really think about why you're doing what you're doing, what's your purpose on this planet, and we have all of that training available for you. So take action. We appreciate you. Just click the link below, guys, and get started, and we will see you in the members area. Dan, appreciate you, brother, and appreciate each and every one of you. So till next time, signing off. I'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Peace.